Wonderful to see you all today. High manifestors, high vibrations, good stuff. As you see the title, nothing you see is real. So you really have to learn to trust the process of your life. So if it's not real, okay, here's what I mean. When it's not real, meaning that everything is already set for your success. That's what it means. So you don't have to try to make things real. You don't have to figure out. You don't have to navigate. You don't have to worry. You don't have to stress. If you're here right now, you're watching this video, your life is perfectly unfolding the way it's supposed to. It is the right time. It is the right space. It is the right system. It's the right everything around you right now for you. Way to go. Give yourself a hand. If you're up to this point, you're doing very, very well. Keep in mind, okay? Hey, Trinidad here. Nice, Trinidad. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Want to give a congratulations to a school winner. She manifested $10,000 scratch off by applying the remote viewing principle. So way to go. It shows your life can change and anything is possible. Just look at that, the remote viewing thing. Nothing's real, man. It's all a game we play. You play the game to win. Oh, Michigan. Hey, Michigan. Checking in. Good morning. Greetings from the UK. Texas. Michigan, Detroit. No, guys, you are amazing. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? All right. Okay, so let me show you something deep to emphasize that nothing you see is real. So guys, remember I tell you the story. Hi from Spain. Well, it's not a story, but remember I would always tell you guys before in previous videos, and I would tell you that the past, the present, and what we call the future is all like the same thing. It's hard for your brain and for my brain to see something happening simultaneously, right? So I always say to you guys, everything is happening in this moment, right? Hey, from New York, from North Carolina. All right. So I want to make this simple to you so you can understand. How do we see the world? With our eyes, right? With our brains, right? But what illuminates the world? Light. Without the light, you can't see anything. So let's go deeper. What is light? Could we say electricity? Could we say electromagnetism, right? We could say light has different forms, right? Plasma, all type of light, right? So light is light, right? So we have the visible light spectrum, right? So let's say we have light is light, all right. So I would say to you that everything exists simultaneously, and the way we see is because of light. If there's no light, nothing comes in, right? Would you agree with that? Alberta, Canada, source. Hey, Lady Trucker says, Mark, I had a dream. I won 150 mil, but it was on a scratch card. The dreams represents you're going to win big. Manifest a lottery win. That's what it means. So, we all agree about the light thing, correct? Because I want you guys to get this. Are we in agreement with if there's no light, there's no reality, right? We can't see anything. Got it? Okay, good. All right. So let's go into the multiverse. Here we go. Into the space-time. All right. You know what a light year is? Have you heard of a light year? Okay, light travels at about 146,000 miles per second, right? So a light year. So let's take, all right. So we on this matrix Earth, correct? So let's go, let's say there's another planet or another galaxy, and they're seeing us. What year is this? This is 2024. Okay, so they are seeing us, our light, 100 years. So when they're looking at our planet from their planet, they're seeing us from 100 light years. So that means they're seeing us as we are 100 years ago, not now. Got that? So if they're on their planet, let's say these aliens or these beings on their planet checking us out from 100 light years away, they're not going to see 2024. They'll see what? 1924? So they'll see your great-great-grandparents. They're alive. They're alive right now to them. But to you and I, they're dead and gone 100 years, right? So they can't see us now. They could only see us in 1924. So the light took 100 years to get them, but they're seeing us as we were in 1924. So that means they're seeing your great-grandmother, your great-grandfather. They're seeing everything, cars when it first got invented. They're seeing the Depression, all that stuff in 1924. They're not seeing 2024. Okay, let's even go further. Let's go to another distant galaxy, another planet. And this time it's about 70 million years ago. How about that one? So now they're seeing us 70 million years ago. They're not seeing us today. So when the aliens look at their telescope and they look at the Earth and the light comes there, they're seeing the Earth as it was 70 million years ago in real time for them. So this is called the past. Check this out. So when they're seeing the Earth 70 million years ago, you and I haven't even existed. So what they're seeing is what? The dinosaurs in real time. Let's make it even more trippy. By the way, this is all science facts. All right. So let's go all the way back. 4.7 billion years ago. Let's go to a planet about 4.7 billion. Let's go 4.9 billion years ago. And the aliens on this planet is looking at our galaxy. Guess what? They will never see the solar system because it haven't even existed. Nothing exists. All they'll see is dust and gas of us being formed. And this is in their real time. Following me? Got it? Now, what does that say about everything happening around us? Let me tell you what it says. It tells you that nothing is really real. Everything is a dependent on the perception, the angle where you're perceiving it. If you're perceiving something from a different angle, there is no such thing as an objective reality. There is only a subjective truth. Got it? Yeah, I need to get some moderators in here, man. Yeah, I seen this person. I don't know who this person is. If I find her, I'll block her. You got that? So, when I say nothing is real, people, my question to you guys is this. What are you seeing? What are you projecting? What is your perception? We have a lot of NPCs. Block all the NPCs. Yes, I see them. As soon as I see them, I block them. It's good to align with you today. Yes, good to align to you today. So guys, here is what you need to do. Okay? This is what you guys need to do. Number one, you have to project a perception that is in alignment with your values and what you want. Okay, someone says, Mark, nothing is real. Define nothing. That is a brilliant question. Okay. Before I answer that question, here's something we must know. Something you must know is the way our brain interprets reality is not going to make sense to you and I. So because if it doesn't make sense to you and I, here's what happens. So I'm going to do my best to explain this. So when you look out in emptiness, we call that nothing. Got that? All right. So when I say nothing is real, what I'm actually saying to you is this, is that when you look out at physical objects, physical structures, they have no real material value or physicality to them as what we call real. When we touch something, it's a sensory perception that our brain tells us. It is not real as what you see as real in your life. In other words, everything that you and I see is an illusion based on concepts in our mind. That's what I mean when I say nothing is real. It's all because when we look at something, the thing you look at, when you're looking at your home or anything you're looking at, all you're looking at is speed. You're looking at velocity and speed of a particle. When a particle or the vibration of a particle, it goes so fast. Okay, I'll give you the simplest example right now. Let's use an airplane propeller. When you look at the airplane propeller, before it starts spinning, you can see the propellers. As the propeller starts to slowly spin, you can start to see the propellers. But when the propellers get to the optimal speed, you don't see the propellers. You can't see anything. It's going so fast, all you're just seeing is just like a helicopter. You're looking at a helicopter, you can't see the blades, it's just spinning so fast. So that's the way reality works. The wall and the house you're looking at, it's spinning so fast, it gives you and me the perception that it's solid. If it slows down to a point, it will disappear from you and I. See that? So now you see nothing is real, time is an illusion. I just showed you how time is an illusion because I showed you the in space, the distance is in light years. Someone is looking at you right now, you're already dead. Someone's looking at you right now, you're already alive. I showed you. On a planet right now, aliens are looking at our part of the Milky Way, our part. We don't even exist 4.6 billion years ago. Another side of the multiverse, an alien, they're looking at us 70 years ago. They're seeing your mom and your dad. They're looking at you 200 years ago. They're seeing the medieval times. Listen, it depends on where you're at and what you're looking at and how you're looking at it. That's the name of the game, my friends. See how it works? Let me scroll in here. That's right. I'm an illusion. You're an illusion. Haha. The law of assumption. Someone's asking me what the law of assumption is. Hey, Mark, you don't even teach the law of assumption. People, you don't need to teach the law of assumption. The law of assumption says what it says to you. You want me to teach you the law of assumption right now? Let me teach you the law of assumption right now. And let me make it so simple for you that you don't have to go buy a whole bunch of books. You don't have to watch anything on a law of assumption. Let me tell you something. If you're watching anything on law of assumption, you're basically getting played. Drum roll time. Let's go to drum roll because it's going to open a lot of people's eyes now when they learn about science manifesting. Here we go. How are you getting played watching the law of assumption? You should only, what I'm going to tell you right now about the law of assumption, that's all you ever need to know. If you're going to watch anything else on the law of assumption, you're getting played. It's a string. They'll just keep repeating and telling you something that you already know is going to confuse you. So here we go. Drum roll time, Mark. Let's open up the minds of these high manifestors so they can see how reality works. Here we go. Boom. Here is what the law of assumption is. You ready? Write this down. Let's go to the word assume. Okay. It's Sunday. Let me ask you a question. Do you assume tomorrow will be Monday? Answer below. Go ahead, answer below, please. Do you assume tomorrow is Monday? Okay. All right, yes. Okay. Do you assume in a few hours you're going to do what the thing you're supposed to do? Okay, is that a yes? Okay, yes. Do you assume tonight when the sun goes down you're going to see the moon? Oh, is that that's assume, right? Okay, so the law of assumption is whatever you assume can come into your world. That's all you need to know. That's it. You make assumptions every day. It's not difficult, my friends. Hey, do you assume that you're going to win a lottery jackpot? Okay. Listen, do you assume that one day you're going to get thirsty and drink some water? I bet you do. Do you assume that when you look outside you're going to see leaves on a tree? I bet you do that too. You do a lot of assumptions, right? So what is the law of assumption that people keep talking about, that you have to teach it? What is there to teach about assuming what you want to come in? And can someone answer me that, please? Now, let me teach you something that you do need to know, and you do need to practice, and you do need to watch it repetitively so that you can change your life. Now, this is something that you definitely have to study and watch a lot of this stuff. And here it is. It is about how you perceive the world, how you create a map of reality, how your subconscious mind works, how your conscious mind works, and what are the blocks that are preventing you from achieving your goals. Those are definitely things that you need to learn and practice, because without the knowledge of any of those things, nothing will come into your life the way you want it to. That's what you got to learn. So I just gave you the law of assumption in a nutshell. If you're going any further, you're over criticalizing it, and you're going to create resistance, because it is really simple. If you assume you are a winner and you're taking the necessary steps to make you a winner, you shall become a winner. If you're assuming you're going to get thirsty and you're taking the necessary steps to quench your thirst, and what are the necessary steps? Here's the necessary steps. Get a bottle of water, have a cup in your kitchen, because you know you're going to get thirsty. I'm going to get thirsty. Here's my bottle of water. What I do? I just did my law of assumption. I manifested it. That's how it works. So don't go busting your mind with anything else. You got that? Yes. So basically, just get your mind, consciousness right with what you desire. Prepare for what you desire. Have the tools ready for what you desire, and you shall have it. So again, move the law of assumption aside now, because you know it. So now let's get into the details of bringing into life what you want. Got that? Let's go. All right. So let's talk about you. Can I ask you guys a question? Here we go. What are you? What are you? Answer me the question. Go ahead. What are you? What? Let me see. Okay. Whoa. Good. Spiritual beings, energy and light. Okay. Soul experiencing soul. I see I'm a lottery winner. That's a very clever one. All right. Let me tell you what you are. Yes. So we have this thing now It's called neuroscience, and then we also have another part of it called epidemiology, right? We have biology and we have quantum mechanics. So within the last 20 years, we have really gotten a real look at. Notice I never said who you are now, right? I went to what you are because we're beyond the who. So we know that human beings are not what we think we are. So what a human being actually is, okay, a human being is a bunch of fibrous nervous system wiring that's powered by a light force. You're a bunch of machine like a computer. You're a machine, and a machine needs a power source to power the machine. So what you are is light energy. Your brain is the battery that powers your machine. So I gotta ask you one more question. Here we go. Get ready for this one. So if you're a machine and you're being powered by light through the brain, why do you and I have individuality? Why do I have a personality? Why do you have a different personality? Why do you feel like you are somebody? Why do I feel like I'm someone? Why do I take things personal? Why do you take things personal? If I am just light in a body, why do I experience individuality? Why do I experience loss, joy, pleasure, pain, doubt, worry, fear? If I am not a who and I'm a what, why am I experiencing all of these things? Can anyone answer that question? The answer to that question will change your life profoundly. It will free you. So think carefully before you answer that question. Of course, I'm going to give you the answer. Okay, so someone says, so we could experience ourselves through human beings. So we're a conscious observer. So we're a perception, genetic code to collect data. Okay, I get that. But my question is, why do I feel like I'm a mark? Why don't I feel like everyone else? Why do I have individuality? Why do you feel like Jessica, Tom, Bill, Philip, Monica, Lisa? And why do I feel like this Mark guy? It's not awareness. Awareness just means I'm in the field. Someone says condition. All right, let me give you the answer to that right now. Let me tell you the answer. All right. The reason you and I feel like we're a person and an identity, okay? It's called, in your brain, you have a right hemisphere and a left hemisphere. But in the middle of the brain, there's this pathway that connects the brain. It's called the corpus callosum, okay? The corpus callosum is the main reason that you feel like you're a person. Here's what happens. When your higher self streams you into your brain, the brain have to adapt to a physical three-dimensional world. Let's back up. Remember, you are pure source energy, right? So you're a pure consciousness, you have all the knowledge, you have all the answers. You're your higher self first. The higher self takes 1% of itself and sends it to your brain. Your brain then takes that 1% and breaks it up into another 0.5%. So let me show you something. Are you listening to what I'm just saying to you? I just told you that you are about 0.5% of what you truly are. 99% of you is not even here to play the game. The game is just too easy for that part of you. It will be no fun. So what that part of you did, it broke off a tiny piece of it so that you can experience and make the game interesting to you. So let's continue to what makes you feel like a person. So the fact that I feel like Mark is an illusion. The fact you feel like Jessica is an illusion. It is your brain playing a trick on you through the corpus callosum. And here's what happens. So when the higher self sends the part of you into the brain takes that 1%, filters it down into 0.5%. The 0.5% now creates two different levels of consciousness. So now you have two different levels of people living in your head. You have your true self, which is just about a 1%. Then you have a 0.5%, which is called the ego. So you actually have two different levels of what you would call people or awareness. But here's the one that gets you. The 1%, and check this out. Listen, let me show you something. You know how you can pull off those amazing feats you have? You know how like you can manifest money and you can get creative ideas, right? You know how like a person from school won that 10,000 scratch off by remote viewing. You know how I won the lottery, you know all that stuff. Did you know I'm just doing that with 1% of my capabilities? And did you know that you're just doing it with 1%? So check this out. All the information you're getting from your higher self, you're doing this with 1%. You haven't even tapped into 2%. You haven't even touched the surface of your potential, my friends. So let's continue. So I'm doing all this stuff with 1%. You're doing all this stuff with 1%. So let me ask you a question. Mark, if I'm doing this stuff with all 1%, can I increase to more? Well, you can only go to a certain point before you go insane, before you go cuckoo. Your brain can't handle too much. So for people who are really super high manifestors, these are the individuals that can remote view, that have really good psychic energy. They can pick things up. They can get premonitions. The intuition is on site. They go into public. They can hear what people think. They can feel. For those individuals, the few of them, they can only tap about 2%. 2% is the highest you can ever go. But that's all you need in the 3D game anyway. Once you exit the 3D game and you go to you're back to the consciousness, you become your full percentage again, and then all your percentages actually are spread out across your entire past life, which is infinite amounts of them, and they're all spread out in infinite realities where you are living right now. So all of them been filtered out, so you know everything already. But that's another story. But let's get back to the corpus callosum point here. And all right, so what happens now in the corpus callosum, and they accidentally discovered this. So they had patients that would get a lot of seizure attacks. And so doctors said, wait a minute. So this part of the brain is processing like personality or something. Let's see if we cut the corpus callosum on the right hemisphere. Let's see if the brain will know what's happening on the left hemisphere. So here's what happened. Let's make this simple for you to show you that what you are is an illusion, even your personality. Okay, so here's what's happened. So they cut the corpus callosum part of the brain that sends. So the corpus callosum basically is a highway that sends information from right to left to tell you to perceive, logic, all that. So they cut one part of it. So that technically means that the brain can't get information to do something. But something amazing happens. So they told the person, hey, take your right hand and do something. Okay, he did something. The left hand had no awareness, but something strange happened. The left hand, even though corpus callosum was cut, the left hand had a mind of its own. There's someone else inside of you. How is that possible? The right hand's doing this, but the left hand's doing something totally different from the right hand. And guess what? Both of them were arguing with each other. Okay, I'm making this very simple for you. You can do more research on that. Anyway, what they discovered is that in the brain, all it is just information being streamed based on the subconscious and based on the environment. And that corpus callosum was the part that was transferring information. So when they cut one of it, the other part of the brain adopted to it. So it basically means when you got here, your brain developed like an artificial automatic AI type of vibe. So the fact that you feel that you are a person is more like an AI from your brain. It's your brain's best way of creating and living in, experiencing the environment. Hence, that's what we call the ego. Got it? Make sense? Oh man, there's a lot of NPCs here today. They crave attention, man. Hey man, they're on here. Ooh. Yeah, we're not going to pay attention to them. Okay, I see them, I blocked them. So you guys are getting this? So the fact is this, and listen, this is out of everything I said to you, this is the most important part of this lecture. And here's the most important part of the lecture. You got to stop listening to your mind. When your mind is telling you things that are not in alignment with you, you have to stop listening to the negativity that your mind is telling you about yourself. You have to stop listening to the limitations that your mind is telling you that you cannot accomplish. You have to stop listening to anything that your mind says about what you want to achieve as unachievable. And I just told you the reason why. It's because the mind is programmed by the environment. The environment gave you a personality, and the personality came with feelings through your nervous system. All those things put together gave you an identity, and you feel you are a person. But the truth is, you are not a person. You are not an individual. You're too much for that. You're beyond individuality. You're beyond person, man. So what you have to understand is you still have 1% of your higher self in the brain, because that's all the brain can handle. And that 1% is more than enough for you to navigate, for you to do your thing in the matrix, for you to win the manifest the money, get the health, the benefits. It's more than that. It's more than enough. So what you have to understand now is the only time, people, you should ever entertain your mind is when your mind is telling you what you want to hear. If your mind is telling you what you want to hear, if your mind is helping you with what you want to achieve, then shake his hand and say, all right, man, good, we're on the same level. If the mind is not doing any of that, stop paying it attention. Because all you're doing is you're following a program that's not you. Got it? You totally get this? Good. You do not, yes, you do not access the rest of the power, all the power, until you exit the matrix, and then you are either in a reincarnation process, or you're in another dimension, you come back as another being, or you're just totally soul consciousness, and then you stream back down here. So this is stuff that I'm actually, you know, this is stuff that they cannot teach you. They cannot put this out to you in the mainstream, because this goes against religious stuff. It goes against the system, how it's set up. You know, imagine if you go and tell all the human beings on this planet that all of you people have more potential, more power, more knowledge than you ever possible. What would happen to all the people? I just want to pose that question to you. What if you go around and you go like this, blick, and you all the lights came off and all the people realized, like, what's going on? Can anyone tell me what would happen? If everyone understood or overstood their capabilities of what they could create and what they truly are. Can anyone go ahead, just comment, tell me what would happen to the world? What would happen to the stuff? Okay, so you know. All right, there it is. You guys can see this too, so I'm not going to call it out, but you guys are smart. There you go. Hence, see, all of you are saying it, so I'm not going to read it. So you can read it yourself, but there it is. Very good. You all got it. This is why it's not out there. So now you know why it can't be. Now you know why this not only is not out there, but now you also know why it will never be out there until the matrix transform into another system. Good. See, you guys are all smart. Wonderful. You guys are awakened. Congratulations. Welcome, chosen awakened ones. You understand. And people, that's what's happening. Okay, the one comment you said, I will say this out, but you guys made a lot of good points. So here's the one that Black 0012 says. They would ruin the system. That's it. The matrix infrastructure would start to glitch out of control. You can't have it. You can't have it going out of control. So I'm just here for who's watching to just enlighten you and show you what you truly are, what you're capable of. All right. So let me touch on another point in this game that you need to know. Here it is. Okay. How many of you here right now, you worry about tomorrow? You worry about how you're going to make your money? Do you worry about your business? You worry about your health? You worry about other people? Okay. How many of you wonder about what your future will hold? How many of you wonder if you're on the right path, you're doing the right thing? How many of you are wondering, should I take more, best way to put it, should I take more logical, constructive steps to fulfill my dream? How many of you here are wondering how you're going to do what you're going to do? How many of you are constantly worrying about just living and maintaining a normal life? How many of you are doing that? I would say about 95%, right? That we get up every day, there's something in our mind. We want to go somewhere, right? We want to get somewhere, but we don't know how to get there, right? Well, very few. But the majority, not for you guys, because you guys know the secret, but I'm talking about the majority of the world is doing that. So let me show you something. If you're one of those individuals, about 96%, let me show you something that will set your mind at ease, okay? Here's what's happening. So I'm also here to tell you something deep. So let me do another drum roll for this one. Drum roll, answer, boom. What if I'm to tell you right now that okay, let me put something in there. This is for people who are awake. If you're awake, that means you're watching this, okay? So this is for you. If you're not awake, you're not going to see this. So this only will work for people who are awake because they're tuned into it. If you're not tuned into this, it will still work, but you'll meet so much resistance, you'll have so much aches and pains, and then one day you'll get it, but you're going to go through a lot of ups and downs. But if you're awake and you're enlightened like you are, here's what's going to happen. So here's the goal. So what if I'm here to tell you? Key point now, awakened. Whatever part you are in your life right now, whatever's going on in your world right now, you are where you're supposed to be. Listen. Well, Mark, I'm in a struggle right now. You are where you're supposed to be. Mark, I'm having a lot of health issues right now. You are where you're supposed to be. Mark, my life, I'm trying to get my business to go up, but I keep meeting resistance. You are where you're supposed to be. My goodness, man. You know, these NPCs, you know what? Let me tell you something about these NPCs, man. If they can take the energy they use to comment in my videos and just use it to enhance their own life, dang, they would be so much better. It just shows us oh goodness. Okay, someone says it's hard to accept. Here's what's happening. Listen to this. You see, guys, where you're at right now, in your higher self, in the way life works, is the path has already been set for your success. So if you're in a time where you're struggling right now, and you're saying to yourself, man, this is not right. I'm doing the right thing, but I'm manifesting. What you're actually experiencing right now, my friends, is something that we call tune in. Tune in is when the vibration of your being is moving up to the frequency of what you truly want. And to us, it will seem like chaos. It will seem like something is wrong, but actually, it's all coming together for you. Because here's the big part. Now, here's the main part of this picture. I'm here to tell you that your life and all the stuff that you want and you're desiring, it was already pre-made for you. You're just in the course of achieving it. You're navigating towards what's already been set up by you, for you, by you, higher self, for you, 1% physical being. I'll repeat that again because it's going to go across some people's head. You, higher self, for you, 1% physical being. Keep in mind, what is in the 1% of you, my friends? Ego. Ego gives confusion, gives heartache, gives pain, gives different perception. So on your way to brilliance, on your way to success, your ego is going to fight you and tell you, and this is why you feel down, this is why you feel confused. But here's the big picture. All of that, my friends, is just a little glitch in the bigger picture. In other words, it can't stop you from being what you truly want and who you're truly going to be. Your ego can't stop you, man. The reason why it can't stop you is if you're awakened and enlightened, you already know the truth. You already know that your path is already set for success. You already know that what you're doing is you're going through a movie that's already been filmed and produced and done. You're already in it. You're going through a blockbuster hit. Your movie has already grossed millions and billions of dollars. Your movie was the #1 hit, and you're just in the movie, but someone forgot to tell you that you were, or you are, the director, the writer, the producer of your own show. So you're going in this movie in amnesia, man. You're in amnesia in your own reality. Now, the question will come up. How the heck this guy know this stuff? What proof or evidence does this guy have of this stuff? You know what the proof and evidence is? You. How many of you, I'm going to give you one proof and one little evidence that's going to shut down everything. I could technically, let me see the time I have. Yeah, I have time. I could technically go into the quantum physics part of it. I could technically go into the biological part of it. I could technically go into the mental part of it, and I could fuse it together to show you, but that's going to take too much time. So I want to cover other things. So I will make it very easy for you right now to show you the proof and evidence by using you, your own self. And here we go. How many of you right now go back to your childhood, okay? How many of you would have ever thought in your wildest dream you would be doing what you're doing now? You'd be achieving what you're achieving now. You'd be living where you're living now. How many of you? A lot of you. That's the proof to show you that even then you never could encompass, think, dream, and look what you're doing today. You would never think you'd be that artist. You never think you'd have that business. You never think you'd be working at this good place. You never think you'd be doing this. How many of you have done that? Look at you. See, someone says I retired at 30. Never thought you'd do that, right? See? So what does that show you? It shows you, my friends, that you were already in control and you didn't know it. Listen, if you're not happy where you're at right now, it's fine. You're going to get where you're going to get. That's the main message here. You have to know that there's something working out for you. You want to hear something even more trippier? If you want to hear the most trippiest thing, comment below. This is a little controversial, but this is the most trippiest thing you will ever know. So you want to know something even more trippier than that? Yes, please. All right. Here we go. In your journey in this realm, you always get 3 events to exit to a higher dimension. Actually, I don't even know. I have to, let me think, guys, because I want to put this in a way that I don't know, because this may definitely, I can't do this one here. It's too controversial. I can't do it here. Let me think and see, and let me do it in codes so you can get it without actually saying it. Because if I say it, it could get this video like flagged, or it could get reported, or algorithm and all that stuff, because this is a very sensitive touch. But let me see the best way I can put it to you like this. All right, let me get brilliant here. Let me get brilliant so it doesn't affect it, so you can pick it up. All right, let's watch a movie. So there's this movie, right? Now just listen to the sign. So in this movie I was watching, okay, this is the game here. In this movie I was watching, it was talking about the science of quantum science of immortality, reincarnation, and the cycles of death and everything like that. So in this movie, they were basically saying that each soul has 3 opportunities to exit the game when they feel like it. And these 3 opportunities will come up to them, and they can choose one opportunity and it can bypass them. So the movie was saying that everything that happens in our life, when you ever hear the saying, oh, he's gone too soon? The movie was basically saying nobody ever goes too soon. It was planned. It was saying all of their exit, their departure was planned. Okay? So the movie went on to say this. It says that each soul experienced 3 times in their life where they could have exit out the game. And I thought about it for myself, and I was like, whoa, this is totally true, because I've experienced 3 times that happened to me. One time I was sitting down, and I don't know what I was doing, but I was in a parking lot, and I sat down because it was shaded. And when I sat down to get some shade, this SUV pulled up to park next to me, and if I didn't react quick enough, the SUV would have just rolled over me, and I would have been bloop, gone. But something in me reacted, and whoop, I escaped that one. So that was one time. Another time. So you get what I'm saying here? Without going into too much words. You understand? So the most trippiest part is this. Here's the most trippiest thing. That the awareness of you, okay, the awareness of you can't go anywhere. There's nowhere to go but here. So what's happening, you're going into another room. So you're in a house. So when you leave the living room, you go into your bedroom. When you leave the bedroom, you come back into the living room. You go back into the kitchen. You go all over. You can't leave your house. There's no house to go. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So you people understand. I'm glad. See, you got it. Very smart. I see by the comments. You're so smart. Yes. That's correct. You and I only can ever know existence. No matter what your brain tells you, you can only ever exist. So what does that mean? Someone asked me, are we here against our will? No. Here's how it works. So let's do this again so you can get this. So you and I, we live in this infinite thing, okay? Keyword is infinite. So check this out. You can't imagine infinite, but let me make it simple. Imagine this. Imagine you watch a movie. the same movie every day for 5 years. Okay? You get so bored, right? If you watch a movie every day for like 1 week, man, imagine, I'm just going to the extreme so you can get into human concert. Imagine you and me sit down and we watch the same movie for 5 years. Your life would be boring. You know everything about the movie. After 5 years, man, somebody put that movie on, you know the credits, you know each letter of the ending, you know the guy, you could verbatim, you know the whole script, you're talking, you're watching the movie and talking like, da-da-da. You're playing the different roles. The music, right? You get all that. All right, check this out. That's what your higher self does in this game. Everything was already played out. Played out, beyond played out. So what the higher self says, all right, listen, I'm tired of this game and this movie. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to play the same movie, but I'm just going to switch up the different roles. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come down. I'm going to make a movie on this planet. I'm going to call it Earth. All right. So I'm going to put this movie down here. I'm going to go back down here. But here's what I'm going to do this time. I'm smart this time. This time, I'm going to give myself amnesia so I don't remember this movie, so that it becomes more fresher, it becomes more rewarding, it becomes more exciting, it becomes more good for me. But I don't remember it. But the fact that I don't remember the movie does not change the ending of the movie. Got that? In the movie, I end up winning. In the movie, I end up being successful because that's what your higher self came here to do. So you following me? So, if you're here right now, you're in your movie. So is there any indication what my movie role is, Mark? Mark, how do I know that this movie I'm playing is the right movie that I'm going to win? Well, yes, your higher self is very smart. He didn't leave you hanging. So he said, all right, even though I'm going to make you forget about 95% of your movie, I'm still going to give you something to let you know what your movie is about. So let me ask you guys a question. Can anyone here tell me where is what your movie is about? Where is it stored? How do you know what your movie is about? Ah, there it goes. That's one of them. Your higher self will leave something in you called your talents and gifts. That's an indication of where your movie is going. Okay, that's just an indication. But what's the number one thing that your higher self puts into you to let you know that, okay, this is the role you're going to be playing in this movie, man? Anyone tell me what that is? No, the imagination is a tool your higher self gives you to render the movie. So your imagination was a requirement. You have to use imagination to render the movie. Ah, there's the answer. D Purple Palm got it. It's called desires. It's called wants. You will know what your movie is about based on what you feel you desire. From when you were a kid, a little kid at 9 or 10 years old, you desire to be a singer. You didn't know how you're going to sing. You don't know you could sing. From the age of 10, you desired that you're going to be an architect. You desire you're going to be a businessman. From the age of 12, you were the only one staying home and looking at business. Your friends were out playing with Nintendo or Lego, and you were the one saying, I'm going to do. That's called a desire. That's the little tip your higher self leaves inside of you to say, all right, man, look, even though you're going to forget 95% of this, I still need you to know what's the main point of the game so you don't go off from your purpose. See how that works? So every single person have something they desire. If you have something you desire to accomplish and you haven't accomplished it yet, that's what it's supposed to be. The reason you haven't accomplished it yet is because your movie is still being produced. Your movie is still going. You haven't gotten to the end where you want yet. So this is why you should never worry. You should never get down. You should never doubt yourself, because your movie, it was already done. You're just going through the motions of it. Do you understand now? Is this making sense to you? You see what's going on? Yeah, where's the popcorn? You got to relax and trust the universe. That's correct. The script has already been written by you for you. This is for you, and by you is the higher part of you. Makes perfect sense. Got it now. Good. That's the main, but that's what I want to tell you guys. That's what I want to show you. Creation is finished. So here's something else. Let's check this out now. Since you're here and your higher self, sometimes your desires can change. Sometimes you'll desire this thing and then you say to yourself, you know what? I'm not feeling this anymore. This is my new desire. So what's going on there? Well, you got to remember, you can change at any time you want to change, man. You can come here and half of your life, you're going to be an artist. The other half of your life, you're going to be a motivator. The first part of your life, you're going to do this. The next part of your life, you're going to do that. You could come here and do 5 or 6 things. Get this. You want to hear the most trippiest one out of all of them? And this is going to make you blow your mind. Your entire movie could just come here to help one person. That's your movie. Your movie could just, you come here to just help one single person. And the one single person you just help, that energy that you help them from will recirculate coming back around. And the next point down in your life, when you're living in your life, you're going on like 5-10 years later in your life, you automatically get this huge big financial blessing, or you get this huge big opportunity, and you're like, damn, where did this opportunity come? How did I get this? But you didn't remember 10 years ago or 5 years ago, that one guy that you helped that needed some money, or that one friend you helped that was really in a desperate spot, or that person you gave your last $10 to, or that person that really needed it and you helped them out and you didn't think about it. That was the only reason you came here. Guys, you got to remember, this movie plays with every single possible outcome. So what it means is, in your life, when you're going through, everyone, do not take things for granted. Do not take people for granted. As you go along your path, be kind, be generous when you can, help who you can, when you can. Just do your best. Just do the thing you think is right, because you never know who is going to send you your multiple abundance back. You don't know who you were sent here to help, and then a few years they pay it back forward to you 150 million billion times back. That's the name of the game. Your movie could just be here to help that one friend that needed a deposit for their apartment, and you happen to have your tax check in and you had X amount of money, and you gave them to get a deposit for their apartment, and you didn't think nothing of it, and it's 5 years down the line, your business blows up. The business that you were trying to make and try to do, it automatically gets successful, and you think to yourself, man, I really did good with this business. No, you didn't. It's what you did before that made your business blow up. It's that friend you helped. It's that advice you gave. It's that smile you looked at that person. That's what made you successful, because that was a part of your movie. You pay it, they pay it forward. That's the name of it. So what it says to you guys is, when you're navigating the matrix and you're doing your thing, just be aware that all the characters and the players are a part of your role. And now, it's not saying you go out there and just start, it doesn't work like that. It's just saying you go with what your intuition tells you, what you feel, and what you know is right. That's all it's saying to you. It just says, just do your thing the way you know how to do your thing. Many of you have done things where you said, okay, you know what? I gave this guy money yesterday. Today I don't feel like giving this guy money. That's fine. That's what you're supposed to do. You did your part. Okay, this person keeps calling me. I'm going to give him some advice. I'm tired, but let me just give him advice. That's fine. That's what you're supposed to do. You know what? I don't feel like giving advice today. That's fine. That's what you're supposed to do. Got it? All right. Subliminals work definitely more at night. During the day, you're in a more of a beta state. The best time to use your subliminals is when you're winding down and going to relax and going to sleep, when you get into the alpha theta state. That's correct. I love this. I love that Don says some characters in this story, they'll appear for 1 or 2 chapters and then you'll never see them again. That is true, people. There are some people, you guys, you got to remember, this is a movie, this is a role. So there are some co-actors and co-actresses, or what we call extras, I call them extras, that will pop up in your life. And they'll pop up in your life for like 1 day. They'll stay in your life for like 2 weeks. They'll stay in your life for 6 months. They'll stay in your life for 2 years, and all of a sudden, boom, they're gone. They just leave. They just cut you off. You're like, damn, what's going on here? You just cut me off? Yes, because it's a movie. It's a part of the role. They played their role. You don't be stupid and go try to bring back the cut. You're messing up the movie, man. When they leave, let them leave. That's how it goes. You don't go with your ego and say, oh man, come back. You're messing up your movie role, people. If you do this principle, your life will go a whole lot better. Whatever comes in, comes in. Whatever goes out, goes out. Don't try to hold on with whatever's going out. Let it go out. Don't try to stop let it come in. That's the name of the game. It's the flow state. Thank you, Big Elvis. $2. Thank you. It's people, listen to me again. I got to make this clear. If you watch a movie, the people in the movie are playing a role. After they finish playing their role, they go back to their house or chill or whatever and become their personality. It's the same thing in this matrix. The people you encounter, they are playing their role. Let them play their role. When they exit your life, it's good. The role is over. Guess what? Another player, another actress, another extra comes in for you. So there's no need to get attached, people. There's no need for the heartache and all that stuff. You're doing it to yourself. Your ego's doing that. I missed the super chat. Sorry, where's the super chat? Can you tell me the super chat? You get what I'm saying, guys? Correct. Pella got it. The only one thing that is real is the act of observation, the act of awareness. That's correct. Hey, part of the movie may mean to manifest them back. If it's meant, let me tell you something. If in the movie, if they are meant to come back, they will come back. If they aren't meant to come back, my friend, no matter what you do, no matter what you try, it's not going to work because it's not in the script. You wrote a script. This is your script. So, what are you doing? Why are you going against your script? By the way, you cannot go against your script. Your script is written already. So that means if you're going after that person or trying to chase them down or trying to figure out what happened, you're just wasting your energy. So someone says, so that means whatever I do, whether I try, I won't win the Powerball. No, it doesn't mean that. Listen, if your desire is to manifest money or lottery, then that's in your movie, my friends. I'm talking about people. I'm not talking about your ultimate desires. Whatever is in your desire, whatever is in your heart, if something makes you feel good, makes you feel inspired, makes you motivated, you will 100% accomplish it. It's part of your script. The only thing that's a part of your script for success that you will 100% achieve, and this is the only thing you will ever achieve, is a part of your script, is what's in your heart, is what's called your desires. What drives you in the morning, what makes you wake up, what makes you want to live life. Those are the things that will 100% manifest in your movie. Everything else around the movie is extras. Thank you, baby, $5. So you get it now? I'm talking about the people or the extras around your movie, not about your own abilities and your own desires. Yes, you can actually change your script. You can change your script on your desires, though. You can't change your script on the extras. The extras that are in your movie are already playing their own role. So they're not, you're not going to change the extras in your movie. You can only change you, the player or the main character. The extras contracts are already done. The extras, they already signed their contract. This is what I'm going to do. You can't go back and change the extras contract. You can only change your contract. You can adjust your script. You can adjust your desires. Today you may desire to be an artist, like I say. And then you change. You say, you know what? I have a new desire. I like to do this. You can do that. How do you deal with inner conflicts of desire? There is no such thing as an inner conflict of a desire. What you're experiencing is an inner hijack of a desire from the ego. So what happens is, because you have a desire, and here's a key point now. I'm going over time here, but I got to do this. The key point is this. The majority of desires that we have are so big, and we think they're unachievable, and we think that we might not get them, that our ego will hijack your desire. And that makes you look like a conflict, because your ego will say, man, you want to do all those big stuff, kid. You can't do it. First of all, you're not equipped. You're not good enough. You don't have the tools. It's going to tell you all that stuff. Okay? Toby. Thank you, Toby. 1999. Beautiful. So when your ego tells you that you can't have that, you can't do that, that's what you see as a discrepancy of desires. So there's no conflict of desire. That doesn't exist. There's only a conflict of ego sabotaging your desire. See how it works? Jealousy is a feedback from that conflict. When you have jealousy, it's always a feedback from the ego. Listen again. Let me make it clear again, people. You already have a perfect desire in your heart to manifest something. If anything makes you feel guilty, jealous, down from your desire, it's not you. It's not your desire. It's not you. It's the accessory that you have to use in the game to navigate. By the way, you use your ego as the navigation tool in the matrix. Your ego is your GPS. So it's the GPS trying to hijack the desire. You got me? Mark, why does the GPS try to hijack my desire? If everything's already set, why am I being corrupted by this lower self of mine? Here's the reason why. There is, the best one to put it to you. You know what they call machine learning? You know what AI learns by algorithms? Well, your ego has that trait. So when your ego came with you as an accessory, it started to machine learn. It started to pick up on the environment. It started to learn about the environment. And it started to learn to survive. And when it learned to survive, it developed what is called rationality, logic, and structure. So the ego now started to develop its own little mind. That little mind is what's corrupting your ultimate mind. That's why the GPS always tries to hijack the desire. Because the GPS now thinks it knows better, because it says, hey man, I'm the one doing all the work here. I'm the one navigating the reality. I'm the one trying to keep you safe. I'm the one giving you the smart mind to think, to rationalize, to judge. So therefore, I think I'm more than qualified to tell you what you can and cannot do. So that's why I tell you, if you listen to the GPS, if you listen to the corrupted mind, you're going to get corrupted. That's why you should never listen to the negativity of your mind, because it's just picking up. And remember now, what it picks up from the field, from all the stuff it sees, what is it again? It's an illusion. Are you aware that about over 90% up to 95% of your worst fears never manifests? They never come into existence. But you think and you feel they're going to come in, but they never actually manifest. It shows you that your own mind is a liar. Yeah. 90%, over 95% of the things you fear the worst, think about the worst, they never manifest, my friends. Never, ever, ever. Thank you, Lady Trucker, 199. So if you know that fact, stop entertaining the negativity of your mind. Tune it out. How do I tune my mind out? It's always there. Can you, all right, you're good at it. Don't you? Aren't you good at ignoring people you don't feel fond of? You can tune them out, right? You can tune people out. Some of you are some of you are good at ignoring everybody. You can sit there and they can be talking all day. You could be having dinner. They talking negativity. You're not even hearing them. You're just enjoying your dinner. You're tuning them out. You can do the same thing with your mind. Do the same thing with your mind. You tune out the people you don't like. So go ahead and tune out the mind when it comes to negativity that you don't like. Got that? So now you have the ultimate guide, ultimate tool. Now you have some more knowledge. Now you can kind of like, okay, you can go change your life now. And now you can see why I say nothing is real. Your attention is your awareness. Yeah, I don't know this NPC here. Let me move to NPC. Here we go. Brainwash yourself for success. We're all being brainwashed every day, so you might as well go brainwash yourself for what you like. All right? All right, guys. So there you have it for today. And I'll see you guys again next time.